Hi friends, my name is Vero from @Vero on Instagram and on YouTube, and today I'm doing a video on how to get rid of single-use plastics in your household. This video does have an accompanying blog post on how to swap single-use plastics, but the activity that we're doing today is actually how to identify the single-use behaviors that you already have so that you can change them for the future. The exercise that we're going to be doing is going to take place over an entire week. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be brainstorming on one piece of paper, or in this case a journal. This journal is from Archer and Olive and it's an A5 journal with perforated pages so that I can rip it out if I need to later on. And the idea is to brainstorm everything that I touch during the week that is made out of single-use plastics. Now, some people might define single-use plastics a little bit differently to me, but for me, it's literally anything that's made out of plastic that will be thrown away at the end of its life. Typically for me, that means probably like shampoo bottles and toothpaste containers, anything related to food, anything that's not going to be used for storage in the future that you won't hold on to by the time everything that's finished in that product. For this particular video, I only had a couple of days to do it, so it's not over an entire week, so this is not a full representation of everything that I personally touch in a week that is made out of plastic. So you're not actually going to be analysing just yet. You just have to think about the things that you already think are going to have plastic in them and then write them down. So, for example, this week I know that I'm probably going to be eating seaweed snacks. Seaweed snacks literally just like plastic wrapped on plastic with seaweed inside, and it's got like this, it's crispy, salty, and I really like that as a snack, but it has a lot of plastic around it. Another thing that I have is some of my clothes are new and I'm taking plastic clothing tags off them, which is also a plastic item. Toothpaste I also consider to be a single-use plastic because the tube that the toothpaste comes in is going to be thrown out into the bin after I finish using it. Floss as well is also single-use plastic because once you use the floss, well, you throw it into the bin, and then same goes for shampoo bottles. Typically you throw those in the bin after you're using them. Same goes for pens. I've already mentioned pens. Tea bags, some tea bags have like plastic wrapping around the actual tea bag before you can steep it in water. I also have yogurt. Yogurt generally comes in plastic containers. Same goes for milk. Now, this is your initial brainstorming. You're not going to find everything that you touch straight away, which is why this is a really interesting exercise, because what you're going to do then throughout the entire week is carry your notebook everywhere you go around your house and write down every time you touch plastic that you haven't already brainstormed, and then tally the things that you've already brainstormed. So for example, I had seaweed 3 times this week, which means that I'm going to put 3 tally marks next to seaweed packs, but then there are things that I didn't think of originally, which are ice cream, for example, bread tags, because we bought some bread, so we had some bread tags on them. One thing that was kind of out of the ordinary was mahjong. So mahjong is a Chinese game and it was a brand new set, so we had to unwrap it. So that was one of the things that I touched. That was plastic and that's single use that I threw away. So once we've established all of the items that we've touched during the week, now typically your list will be a lot longer than mine because this has been done only over like 2-3 days, so it's not an accurate representation of my single-use plastic behavior. But what you're going to do is you're going to get another pen and you're going to put initials next to each of the items so that you're grouping them into different categories. Now, I made up my categories so that I could make things easier for me. You might have categories that you think are useful to you, so your categories may be different, but that's up for you to decide. My categories were food and kitchen, then there was also bathroom, bedroom, office, and then miscellaneous. Next is you're going to go onto the next side of your page and you're going to write all the headers for the different categories, and I'm going to use a black pen to do this. Once I've written the first header, I'm going to categorize the different items that were single-use plastic in that specific category, and I'm going to do this by color code. Things that I use the most will be in red, things that didn't use as much as the other ones will be orange, and things that I use the least will be yellow. The idea behind this is that once you start the challenge, you're going to be identifying these things that you always have in single-use plastics, and then you want to start eliminating the plastic, essentially turning red to orange to yellow to not having plastic at all. The idea here is that once you've written everything down, you come back to this list and you try and make conscious changes so that you can reduce the amount of plastic waste that you're emitting. What we want to do is to start with the easiest things first. You want to either pick a category or a color that you think is going to be easy to transition out of single-use plastic and try and manage that first. After a whole month of doing this and trying to reduce your plastic per category, I want you to then redo this single-use behavior brainstorm where you're going to list down everything that you've been using in terms of plastic and tally them yet again. What I'm hoping for at the end of this challenge is that you will have a lot less items in your single-use behaviors, and so then you'll be able to continue reducing the amount of plastic as time goes on. Now, again, for specific swaps, I invite you to read the blog post because this video is step 1 of the entire process. So click on the link in the description to find the blog post related to this video so that you can continue swapping out single-use plastics for reusable products that you don't have to throw away. I hope you found this video to be useful, and I will see you again in another video. Bye bye!